A little more than 70% of all North Carolina firefighters are volunteers, and that number is plummeting by approximately 11% annually. Right now, there's an urgent firefighter recruitment campaign across 12 North Carolina counties, including Bladen County. And this morning, to tell us more about it, is Chief Nick West of the Elizabethtown Fire Department. Chief, so good to have you join us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you for taking time to bring awareness to this important topic.
So, Chief, can you tell me a little bit about the volunteer firefighter crisis statewide as you understand it, and specifically where you are in Elizabethtown?
Yes, sir. We wanted to bring an awareness to the critical volunteer firefighter shortages that is going on throughout the state, especially in rural communities with populations less than 3,000, 3,000 to 4,000 people, there's a lot of communities around the state that have volunteer firefighters that service populations such as that. And so we're just trying to bring an awareness to the shortage. As you mentioned, 20% of the volunteer firefighters annually, over the years, the 20% shortage has taken place. So we're trying to fill the gaps with the new members, so to speak, because what's happening is members of our volunteer fire departments are they're aging, and they are it's hard to find replacements, for those folks that are either retiring or age out.
Chief, can you talk a little bit about the impacts that this has on maybe our fire insurance, and also, when there is a need for an emergency, somebody's house is on fire, if there aren't enough volunteer firefighters in that rural community, what impacts could there be?
Definitely having a shortage of firefighters impacts the critical time that it takes for us to respond to the calls, because the volunteers have to assemble, they have to go to the station and get the trucks, and it takes a critical force of 12 to 15 firefighters to make an effective response. So it's important to have enough firefighters on the scene quickly to make an effective response to help to control the fires, and also for firefighter safety, because it's important that you have to have enough folks on the scene to be safe, and for sure to make an effective stop on the fire. It's important to have those numbers of folks, especially during the day when a lot of fires happen.
And Chief West, right now there is a recruitment campaign underway targeting Bladen County and a number of other counties across the state. Tell me a little bit about this campaign.
Yes, sir. We were pleased to be selected by the North Carolina Association of Fire Chiefs, and it was a combination with the International Association of Fire Chiefs. And it's a recruitment campaign that was funded by FEMA through a SAFER program to help departments such as ours and others across the state to help to gain skills and recruitment materials, marketing materials, help for marketing, getting the word out, especially for training and leadership skills, and especially demographics and GIS reporting to show where the volunteer firefighters are and where they're responding to, and those types of things. So it's a very, very important program, especially for North Carolina, and it's been modeled after several programs that such as been taking place in other states, and Virginia was the closest one. So it's a very important 2-year program that we're participating in, and we're looking forward to working with the folks at the North Carolina Association of Fire Chiefs, helping out with our recruitment campaign to let folks know that we are in need of volunteer firefighters.
Chief, we have about 30 seconds or less. How can people help, and where do you go to get more information?
Yes, sir. You can visit our website at elizabethtownfire.com, or you can look at the different websites of the International Association of Fire Chiefs. There's information on North Carolina Association of Fire Chiefs, and United States Fire Association has information on how to be a volunteer. But it's specific for our region. It's elizabethtownfire.com, where it has our phone numbers and contact information.
All right, sounds good, and we'll put all this information on our website as well. Chief Nick West of the Elizabethtown Fire Department, thank you so much for your time with us this morning. We appreciate it.